Mr. Dennis or Pastor Dennis. Can you give me a little background about your upbringing and how you got into ministry?
Okay. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, and moved to Akron, Ohio, where I have pastored here for several years. And the pastoral work that I'm involved in has been one that has opened up doors for me to do a number of things that I've dreamed about that are connected to ministry, such as music, such as mental health, and other things. And so I've been doing this for a while. I love what I do. And I'm going to continue as long as I can. All right.
Okay, okay, okay. So tell us about P.O.W.A.M.M, that acronym and what it stands for.
Power of Word and Music Ministries. Okay. We started a record label several years ago. I was working with an artist named Jennifer McHale. And together we wrote with some others and produced a song entitled Great God. Great God was a song that was in the top 20 on the Billboard charts for a while. As a result of developing that song, we thought that we would also develop our own label. And so we came up with the ideal of the power of word and music.
I love it.
and and so we kind of turned it into a record label, but we've kind of used the ideal of of developing people, helping people to bring to fruition their gifts, develop their gifts, discover their gifts, and use those gifts. Yeah.
Okay, now my next question is combining ministry with music is what you did. What's some of the things you had to work through as a spiritual leader to step outside of business as usual with the church to start the label?
That is such a great question because from a ministry perspective, what I felt like God had given me, it didn't fit into the traditional music box. And you do know that there are boxes that we're put in as
Yes.
relates to pastors and or just anything that we do. People kind of just put you into a box and say this is what you can and cannot do. Well, the ministry that was connected to me was one that I just wanted to do a number of different things. And when I first started talking about those things, people did not see the connection.
Mm.
And I felt as though I did not fit again into certain boxes. But I went on and stepped out on faith, knowing what was put in my heart to do. And the challenges came really a lot from the Christian community.
Mm.
People really trying to um, figure out how does this fit into the traditional um, ministry ideals, what's on the traditional menu of ministry items.
Right.
And so I kind of had to work through that. And especially on when it comes to music, I've done gospel music. I've also done R&B music. So I had to step outside of the traditional worship concept to fulfill the desire and the need to express in a certain way from a man's perspective, to express my feelings in terms of my relationships and my relationships. So it was very difficult, and a lot of times misunderstood. And I'm sure there's still a lot of people today who misunderstand me.
You
But we
and the rest
still,
of the world.
yeah, but we do what we do, and our callings, as long as we do them with integrity and with a sense of knowing that you're connected to what the Creator's called you to do. I feel very confident in what we're doing. Yeah.
Now, This question, I'm gonna hit you with this question. Would you have considered music had you not been in ministry?
Yeah, yes, yes, but my concept of everything that we do, it's connected to ministry. It's connected to service.
Right.
It's connected to um, helping someone else to achieve, to become. And so all that we do is ministry. What you do is ministry.
Thanks.
Where we work at is ministry. So I kind of see it all as ministry, and have kind of looked at that um, from that perspective for many, many years. All that we do is connected to ministry.
Right. I mean, and, a lot of us Christians, not us, forget that Jesus or God, if you want to worship the Son or the Father, that's through worship and praise, and we do that oftentimes through music. So, we kind of forget that part of it.
Yeah,
But anyway,
abs- yeah,
I'm
absolutely. Music is a message. The lyric is a message.
sorry.
It's a strong message about one's experiences. It's a strong message about one's relationship with the creator, relationship with other people.
Right.
And so whether we preach it from a pulpit or preach it through a lyric with music, the message is still getting across. And I see that as ministry.
Right. Now, P.O.W.A.M.M, Power of Word and Music Ministry, like you said, was extraordinarily vocal during the 2019 pandemic and keeping the community engaged and informed. How did that platform help to keep you knowledgeable about what's going on within your community, things that you didn't know about before?
Okay, great. That's a great question. P.O.W.A.M.M, as we call it, is connected to other things that we do. So it's connected to the church, even though it's its own separate entity. It's also connected to a dream that the Lord gave me years ago, a dream that we call Minority Behavior Health Group.
Mm-hmm.
A Minority Behavior Health Group is consists of psychologists, counselors, case managers, prevention workers, and we provide mental health services primarily for the African American community and for people of faith. We started with just kind of started alone for the most part, and had another person join with me. And now we have grown to close to 100 full-time employees.
Wow.
Now, what that did for us during the pandemic is it gave us a chance to, from a culturally competent perspective, address the issues that African Americans were facing. Not only from a competent, culturally competent perspective, but also from a faith competency perspective.
Mm.
And what I mean when I say that is we have to know how things impact African Americans from our perspective, and what are the approaches that work for African Americans. But then at the same time, we have to be competent as it relates to providing counsel and direction for people of faith. We have to know the language, we have to have the skill to provide therapy and direction for both. So during COVID, people were suffering, people were afraid, people were dealing with anxiety, depression, and a number of other things. And so the music, along with the therapy, gave us a chance to provide music, therapy, and theology. And so by having conversations with people, discovering where they were, what they were dealing with, we were blessed to have a trained group of people who could go in, whether through Zoom, whether through phone calls, and as things began to change, some face to face with the proper distance that was required at that time, to provide services and to connect people with the kind of services that they needed. So we had a mental health entity that was involved. We had a church that was involved, but then we had music, which I believe music is a form of therapy as well. So a part of the therapeutic approach that we use in our agency is one where we use music as a part of therapy.
Okay. So music, I mean, that was one of my questions. Do you feel like it's a healing component?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sometimes when we're preaching or in the worship service, as you know, music is used to exalt God, but it's also used to lift the spirits of people. There are certain songs that are written specifically to affirm people, to remind people of this great God who has been there for them in the past. And as they face their current struggle, the music is designed to help them to know that the same God will be with them through their current struggle. So the whole ideal of again of using music as it relates to healing, along with other important pieces, we believe is a it's all connected to a process for healing. So we believe in holistic healing.
Mm.
Music becomes a part of it, and then we connect people with the other pieces that they need, that helps to bring healing to what it is that they are dealing with or have dealt with.
Okay. Now, and speaking of, I've listened to your songs. And Inside is probably my favorite next to your latest single, Dream. Can you tell me about the inspiration behind those two singles?
Inside does not sound like a church song at all, does it?
It sure does not.
Oh my goodness. So let me tell you about Inside. I've been in a wonderful relationship with Angela for
Mhm.
many years. And in writing music, I wanted to find a way to express in a different way my feelings toward her, and also express and recite through music um, different things from our past. Okay. So Inside is the interpretation of a look. Okay.
Right.
Now stay with me. She gave me a look one day. Okay. And you've heard the song. So based upon that look, I wrote a song about what that look was saying to me.
Because I was
And
confused, but
so that's what Inside is about. It's
okay,
it's it's the it's the interpretation of a look. She gave me a look, and I said, "Okay, that's what this look means to me. Let me write about it." Okay,
got it.
that's what I. So that's how that happened.
And then your newest single that has, is it releasing tonight or today? Did it release
Yeah,
today?
it releases at midnight. It's called Dream, and as you know, songs usually have a very um, clear message um, as it relates to the person writing the song. There is a reason for writing the song. There is a story connected to the song. So, Dream is connected to just the ideal of dreaming. As I mentioned to you earlier, we formed a mental health agency. At the time we formed that, it's an African American owned mental health agency that I started with national accreditation and state certification. At the
Mhm.
time we started it, there was not another African American owned mental health agencies with that level of accreditation in the US. It
Wow.
just blew me away. So when we were putting it together with the design of using things that were written by African Americans to help African Americans as it relates to the therapeutic process, we didn't have a model because there wasn't one that existed. There was no other agency. It was a dream that we had, a dream that the Lord had put into my heart about, hey, this is what needs to happen. This is what the community needs. And there are many in the African American community who have been who are being misdiagnosed
Mm,
by therapists that are not trained.
right. Wow.
So 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 we began to put this together from with nothing, with nothing. We didn't have I didn't have a therapist who I was connected to or anything at that time. And I watched as we stepped out on faith. I watched the Lord add to this whole dream. And as I mentioned to you, we're up to close to 100 full-time employees now.
Mm,
So it's a number of stories connected to that. That's what Dream is connected to, stories like that. But here's the biggest motivation for Dream. My youngest daughter came to me years ago and said, "Dad, I want to talk to you." And when she said, "I want to talk to you," the first thing I said was, "Oh Lord, give me strength." Okay. And so we sat down and we started talking. She said, "I want to graduate early." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." I said, "So what's your plan?" And she pulled out a notebook and she had written this plan out. She had written her dream out.
wow.
And she said, "I want to graduate early at this age. I want to get my bachelor's degree. I want to get my master's degree. I want to get my PhD. And then I want to get married and I want to have children." That was her dream. Now, this is what's so fascinating. When she shared that with me, that's when I started writing this song based on this is daddy daughter, right? Okay, she's telling me what she wants to do. And I'm just so blown away that is so serious about it that she's actually written out her plan. And today, as of today, the time that we're talking, she has accomplished all of those goals
Wow.
within that timeline that she gave me. She is a licensed psychologist right now, married with 2 children. So the ideal of dream is connected to that. How do we make our dreams become reality? And my story with a lot of different things that I have seen is this: dreams can really come to fruition. They can really happen. And all of us have dreams of some kind. Um, and many times we're afraid to step out, or we think that they'll never happen, or they just get stuck in the state of being a dream. So the song Dream, it's an affirmation. It's a prayer. It's one saying to oneself, I can do this. Okay. And while they're saying, I can do this to themselves, they're also speaking to the Father, saying, I can do this because you strengthen me.
Mm,
Okay. So you've got that exchange going on the song. And it's based on this ideal of again, what happened in my life, my daughter and her sharing what she wanted to do. And at the same time, um, seeing other things in my life that I just dreamed about, some things that never existed in our area, in our context before. Just seeing them come to fruition, it's just been amazing.
well, congratulations. So here's my next question. Most songs, and especially independent records, although you are a label, you're still independent because it's your label. They typically lack something special that you could otherwise use to make an outstanding song. They always lack something, but not your music. Your music productions are label certified, in my opinion. So when we consider that body of work, what was that process like in making the record?
Right. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you saying that about the music. Um, Mediocrity is something that I never wanted to settle for.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to, and my goal is excellence and above. And mediocrity, in my opinion, is an enemy of excellence. Okay. So when I started putting together music and producing it, I tried to gather groups of people, and I was trying to match what I heard in my head and my heart with a person or persons who were very skilled in various areas. So, for instance, on Dream, the producer of the track with me is a brother named Kyrie Tyler.
Hmm.
Kyrie Tyler is now the musical director for Beyonce.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So you can see the level of excellence. Even though Dream was written a few years ago, you can still see the level of excellence that he brings. Singing on the song is Frank McComb, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with he and his music, but he is phenomenal in terms of being around, being in the industry, as well as Ashley J. So what I did was, again, brought together teams of people who represented what I heard in my head, what I heard in my heart, and and just in working with them and sharing with them what it needed to sound like, and giving that push in that direction. That's how we were able to produce um, what we have. And what's been amazing to me is all of these people in the areas that I've mentioned, the people that we use on this project and others, all of them have been so professional, and they've been um, so open to making sure that they were able to deliver what I was hearing, what I was feeling, as opposed to just saying, "Hey, just give me this, I'll do it my way." We did. I haven't experienced that with the group of people that I've worked with. They've been, "What do you hear? What do you want? Is it this note or this note? Does the harmony start here or does it start here?" Um, all of those kinds of things, and it's just been an amazing journey.
Okay, and speaking of, and this is my last question because I don't want to run out of time. You don't sing at all on the album, so but it is a talented ensemble for sure. So, with your contributions, how does that make you feel? Because you've won awards.
Yes. So here's the magic behind what we do. I sing all my songs out. I sing the parts, and
Mhm.
then I have some others who work with me, and then we send them to the various artists that we want to sing them.
Okay.
And so it in my circle around the house, people know my voice. My dog even knows my voice, my singing voice. And but just singing it and getting it out that way, I can, it's a way of getting to the artist what I'm trying to relay through the song, the message, the places where there's more energy. um I've even shared, hey, when I wrote this part of the song and I sung it, I had tears in my eyes. Okay. Can you capture that
Hmm.
in, when you're singing this? So that level of detail, and again, working with the right crew and the right team of people makes a big difference.
It's not mediocre, like you said. That's the difference,
Well, thank
period.
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
So, can you tell viewers? I wish we had a little more time, but we don't. So, can you tell viewers where they can download this new album and stay
Okay.
connected with you? Are you looking for artists?
Absolutely. I'll start with the last question first. Always looking for someone to work with because we're still writing. I'm still writing. I have several songs that I have written. I have two full albums of songs that I've yet to release, and others that I have written. So we're always looking for people who would be kind enough to work with us, and and join in with a group of just extremely talented people to do a record, to do an album. And people can reach me at my Instagram. It's at Jeffery A. Dennis. They can reach me on Facebook at Jeffery A. Dennis as well. And so if you reach out, you can message me. I will certainly get back with you. And the music drops tonight at midnight. And also there will be a lyric video that will drop with the music. And the lyric video is not only contains the lyrics, but it also contains images of what I was sharing with you about my daughter and about successes and about dreams. So you'll see people who are achieving various things, graduations, home ownership, relationship, success in business. Those images are in the lyric video. So both are released tonight at midnight. You can get them on all of your digital platforms, Apple Music, Spotify. It's going to be out on every digital platform. And I would be honored that any would just listen to it, and I hope it blesses you. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to put this song out, because we want people to know that their dreams can become reality.
Well, I'm seeing a Dove Award for this album, so I believe they will enjoy it. You just gotta, again, dream and believe, period.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So thank you so much, Mr. Dennis or Pastor Dennis. I'm just not sure what to say.
Either is fine. Either is fine.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the interview. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my story. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Oh, of course. I love talent. Black talent all over it.